Cesar Chavez High. Good morning to all of you. Welcome. My name is Dre Baldwin. Many know me as Dre all day. And your teacher, Mr. Wright, reached out to me this weekend. Me and him know each other outside of school. He asked me if I could give a little motivational message to you all this morning. He told me this is something that he shares with you all every week. And he asked me if I could make a video talking to you all about some concept that might be able to help you all think a little bit better, live a little bit better, speak a little bit better, and just be better in general. And I said I'd be happy to do so. What we're going to talk about today is self-talk. What all you need to understand is every single second, every single minute that you are awake, your brain is having a conversation with itself. And that conversation is nothing but a series of questions and answers, which means you're asking and answering questions to yourself at all times. That's all thinking is a series of questions and answers. The phone rings. Who is calling me on his phone? You get a text message. What does this text message mean? Teacher says something to you. What does that mean to me? How should I respond to that? Somebody passes you the ball in a basketball game. What should I do with the ball right now? How should I respond? It's a series of questions and answers that you're asking and answering to yourself all day long. And what I want to explain to you is that if you want to change anything in your life, that means the way that you look, the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that people respond to you, the way that you're respected or not respected, how much money you got, how you feel about yourself, how other people feel about you, all you need to do is change your thoughts, because your thoughts are a direct reflection of your life. And to change your thoughts, all you need to change is the internal conversation that you're having with yourself at all times. And since I just explained that the internal conversation is a series of questions and answers, all you have to do is change the questions that you're asking yourself. You're going to get different answers that'll change your thoughts, that'll change your outward reality, and that'll change everything about your life. So let me explain to you exactly how this works. 85% of the thoughts that we have every single day as human beings are habitual unconscious thoughts. That means that we're thinking them every single day, the exact same thoughts, 85% of them, and they're unconscious, which means we're not even thinking about the fact that we're having these thoughts. We don't even control them because we're unaware of this fact. So now that you're aware of it, I'm going to tell you exactly how you take control of it and how you can start to direct it in the exact direction you want it to go to get the results that you want to get for your life based on whatever your goals are. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you ask yourself a better question. For example, if you're in a situation where things are not going right at that time, you maybe have been trying some things, trying different options to make something work, and it's just not working out. You have all these ideas, and they're just not turning over the way that you want them to. You're trying to get people to work with you. You're trying to influence people to help you out and do the things you want them to do, but they just don't seem to be motivated as you are to do the things you want them to do. Everything you're trying is just not working right now. There are two ways that you can handle this situation mentally. Number one way, and this is the way that 99% of people in life handle things when things are not going the right way. They start asking themselves really bad questions, such as, why does this always happen to me? Why is this a terrible situation? Why do things always go bad when I'm trying to make things work out? Why doesn't anybody want to work with me? Why doesn't anybody want to help me? Why isn't anybody listening to me? And what you need to understand is this. Your brain is like a personal assistant. If any of you have ever worked as an assistant, or any of you have a personal assistant, you know that human beings can make errors, right? Human beings don't always work hard. Human beings don't always show up to work. Human beings get sick, they get tired, they get fatigued. Your brain as a personal assistant is the number one employee you will ever have in your life. The reason why is this. Your personal assistant up here in between your ears never takes a day off from work. It never gets sick. It never gets tired, it never gets fatigued, and it will always do exactly what you ask it to do. Always. It never messes up, it never misses a single word of your instructions, which means every question that you ask yourself, your brain is going to deliver you an answer that is a direct reflection of the question that you asked. Which means this, if you ask yourself a terrible question like, why is this a bad situation? Why is this always happening to me? Why am I in such a terrible mess at all times? Why does nobody ever want to help me? You know what your personal assistant up here is going to do? It's going to start to deliver you answers that are a direct reflection of that question. Why is this always happening to you? Because you're the most unlucky person in the world. Why is nobody listening to you? Because you have no power, no influence, and you're a loser. Why are you always in bad situations? Because God has just decided there's going to be a black cloud over you for the rest of your life, and things are always going to not work out for you. When you ask bad questions, your brain will deliver you bad answers. And when you're getting bad answers and bad questions going through your mind at all times, that will be directly reflected in the way that you react to the world, the way the world reacts to you, and everything that you have in your life. So if there's any part of your life going on right now that is not the way that you want it, it is specifically because you're asking yourself bad questions, and in turn, your brain is doing exactly what you asked it and giving you bad answers. So how do you fix all this? You start asking yourself a better question. How do you ask yourself a better question? Let's say things aren't working out. Same situation. Things aren't working out. Nobody's helping you the way they're supposed to. No ideas popping off the way you want it to pop off. How do you ask yourself a better question? Here's one good, better question you can ask. What can I do right now that puts me in control of this situation? Who is it that if I really needed their help would actually help me if I asked them? What options do I have right now other than these options that I see in front of me that I don't want any of? How can I make myself more powerful, more influential, and get more done over the course of the next 24 hours? What is it about me that makes me a person who is destined to be successful? When you ask yourself those questions, your brain is automatically, I told you, it's a personal assistant. It only does what you tell it to do. I guarantee that your brain will start to deliver you answers that are a direct reflection of that question. So when you ask yourself better questions like that, why am I powerful? Why am I determined to be successful? Why am I the person that God has chosen, God has destined to make things happen for me? Why do all these people want to help me out? Why am I going to be successful at school? Why am I going to be successful in my sport? Why am I going to be the person who comes out of my family and sets an example of success that generations later are going to be following even long after I'm gone? When you ask yourself those questions, your brain will deliver you the right answers. Now, here's another thing that you got to check out about this. This is not an overnight thing, ladies and gentlemen. This doesn't mean just because you start asking yourself better questions 5 minutes from now after you finish watching this video that all of a sudden everything's just going to start breaking perfect. No, that's not how it works. Understand that I talked about habits. All of you are familiar with the concept of habits, right? Then you know that habits take some time to develop. Every single one of us has our own habits. We have habits about how we brush our teeth, habits about how fast we walk, habits about the language that we use, habits about the way that we travel going back and forth from home to school. We have habits about the way that we dribble and shoot a basketball. There are habits for everything. And a habit takes time to develop. It's been proven that it takes 21 days of conscious practice at anything to develop a habit and 90 days to make it into a lifestyle. So this is what you need to do. You need to make a conscious decision to start changing the questions that you're asking yourself right now and consciously think about it. We call it remembering to remember, to ask yourself better questions for the next 21 days straight. Not 20 days and take a day off and then do one more day. Not 3 days in a row and have a bad day and then say, all right, now I'm on day 4. 21 days in a row, which means if you do 19 days and then you have one day where you're not asking yourself good questions, you ask bad questions, you're starting right back at day 1. You need to do this for 21 days in a row. It will become a habit. And if you keep that 21-day habit going for 90 days, it becomes part of your lifestyle. What do I mean by lifestyle? A lifestyle means that if you don't do that thing that's part of your lifestyle, something in your brain just doesn't feel right. Something's not connected. You ever have a moment where you just feel empty, like, wait a minute, I know I'm missing something. There's something that I didn't do today. There's something that I didn't say. There was something that I was supposed to do that I just didn't do. You can just feel it, but you don't know what it is. That's what happens when you create something into a lifestyle and you don't follow that lifestyle. That's the space that you want to get into. And there's an easy way to get into it. It's available for every human being alive, including all of you. All you have to do is make the conscious decision to start asking yourself better questions every single day. And when you ask yourself better questions, what it is, it creates a habit in your mind that your mind will eventually take it over. In your mind, we have what we call the subconscious mind. I'm sure y'all are familiar with that. The subconscious mind will accept any idea that you deliver to it enough times, strongly enough, consistently enough. So if you just tell yourself, hey, I'm the greatest in the world, and you just say it one time, are you going to believe that? No, you're not going to believe it. But if you were to say that to yourself every single day, like you mean it, for 90 days straight, I guarantee some things in your life will start to change, because why? Your subconscious mind is eventually going to accept any idea that you keep giving to it. It's kind of like if somebody knocked at the door at your house and you didn't answer the door because you didn't feel like talking to that person, but they just kept knocking at the door. They just kept knocking, no matter how long you ignored them, they just kept knocking at the door. Eventually you're going to get up and be like, all right, let me just answer this door. That's what your subconscious mind is. The more you knock at the door with any idea or concept or belief, it will eventually accept it and believe it and begin to go to work on it. So if you give yourself better ideas, i.e. ask yourself better questions consciously, which means you're consciously knocking at that door on purpose, eventually your subconscious mind is going to open the door, let those ideas in, and your life will start to become a direct reflection of those thoughts. And I absolutely guarantee you, over the next 6 months, if you start to take this information I just gave you and act on it starting now, not tomorrow, not at lunchtime, not next week, now, I guarantee you 6 months from now, you're going to see significant changes in your life. Any questions y'all can ask me. Y'all can go through Mr. Wright to reach me directly. But my email address, if you want to email me, is dre@dreallday.com. That's my website. I'm on all your favorite social media networks such as Snapchat, I'm at Dre Baldwin, Instagram, Dre Baldwin, Twitter, and Periscope, my name is Dre All Day. My Facebook page is /Work On Your Game, and I'm also on YouTube. My YouTube channel is workonyourga.me, and I'll send Mr. Wright links to all that stuff if any of y'all are interested in reaching out to me directly. But either way, hopefully this information is useful to you. I'm going to, again, connect with Mr. Wright to see how you all reacted to this. I know it's a little bit longer than he asked me to, but I got to make sure I give y'all the information in full. So if this is valuable to you, reach out to me, let me know, let Mr. Wright know, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day and a fantastic week. And as I like to always say to my people who watch me online, work on your game. Dre all day.